Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today we got a brand new teaser for The Last of Us on HBO, a brand new series that's based on The Last of Us video games, and this should be pretty interesting. Of course, I've played the video games, both the original and the sequel, several times, and I don't know if this is supposed to be like a one-to-one or if they're kind of changing some things, but this has been one of those things that's people have been curious about, if maybe a little cautious about, but let's go ahead and check it out. And they're playing some kind of music, so might get copyright struck. Let's see. Okay, Fireflies. It's Pedro Pascal. You're lost in the darkness. Starting to die, and out in the darkness the whippoorwills cry. The darkness is falling, the sky has turned gray, a hound in the distance is starting to fade. Okay. You're getting the clicker sounds, right? Okay. Forsaken by fate and by man. Oh Lord, if you hear me, please hold my hand. Alone and forsaken by fate and by man. Oh Lord,
this is your chance.
Hear me,
our best shot. You keep her alive. And you set everything right. Nice. Save who you can save.
Oh, please understand. Okay, alright. 2023. Yeah, I think that's the end of it. Okay, yeah. A lot of familiar scenes that, of course we recognize. I think my only main concern is that watching this, and I think maybe this was a little bit inevitable to a certain degree, but watching this, I was definitely getting a little bit of Walking Dead vibes, which, look, The Walking Dead, say what you will about the show itself, the production value on that show has always been great. They've always spent a lot of money on that show. But, look, it's post-apocalyptic. There's, that show has zombies. This show, you know what I mean? You can already tell there's going to be, a similar tone. And I feel like people who have not played the video games are going to instantly make that comparison. And so, I guess my only thing is that, assuming that this show, sticks with the game, pretty closely, hopefully it doesn't fall into a lot of the pit traps that The Walking Dead falls into, where, literally nothing will happen for an hour. And then, so this is going to have a similar kind of tone with, everything sucks, the apocalypse happened, zombies everywhere. Or in this case, fungus infected people. But, hey, look, the clicker looks great. They just everything, of course, looks amazing. I just, I know immediately, just seeing the tone here, that, if I had never played this game, and I had never heard of this series, my first thought would have been, oh, is this a spin-off of The Walking Dead? You know what I mean? And I kind of hate that has to be the comparison, but, in the mainstream, your mainstream audience members are going to be like, yeah, The Walking Dead, it has, a bunch of spin-offs, and this has to make sure it doesn't become that, it has to set itself apart from that, obviously. But I don't know, I mean, it looks great. Obviously I recognize a bunch of moments from the game, and it's probably gonna be great, you know what I mean? It seems like as long as they stick relatively close to the events of the game, it'd kind of be hard to mess this up, you know what I mean? I imagine they'll take some liberties, they'll have, for the sake of pacing, they'll probably well, nothing really happened to this episode, so let's put in a scare or a action scene or something. But I guess that's the other thing, is that of course the challenge of video game adaptations to shows and movies is always it's so fun to just walk around these abandoned houses and pick up loot and upgrade your guns and do all that stuff in the game while you're playing it. But like, just watching that happen and you not, you know, just watching that happen on the screen and not interacting at all with it, you know, is that gonna be as fun to watch, you know? So I guess that is another concern, is like, obviously we're not playing this, so, you know, and I think that's, you know, one major reason why so many video game adaptations kind of fail, is that like, if you can't keep it entertaining to someone who's just watching, then, you know, like, that's a problem. But hey, look, it looks fine. It looks like they're definitely adapting it pretty faithfully, and there's just a little teaser, so we don't get to hear any of the famous lines really being said by the main characters. And yeah, we'll see how much they do and do not differ from the games, because obviously if they keep it 1-to-1, then, you know, it can still be a great show, but you know, we know this story. We know this story so well because many of us have played this game, you know, at least 3, 4, 5 times, you know. So it's like, okay, I mean, it'll be interesting to watch, but I don't, you know, there's not going to be any surprises really. So I don't know. They got to keep that balance, you know. Maybe throw in a couple surprises, but don't differ too much, because then what are you doing? You know, like you just making your own thing, I guess. So I don't know. Should be pretty interesting. We'll see how it all turns out. And you know, are you gonna see your parents making like Walking Dead comparisons? Because I can see that right now. I can see a lot of us trying to tell our parents, like, hey, if you guys are looking for a new show to watch, you should check this one out. And they're gonna be like, is it like The Walking Dead? And you have to like explain why it's not The Walking Dead. You know, like, I think that's my main concern, is that you have to be like, it's not The Walking Dead. It's better than The Walking Dead. Don't call it The Walking Dead. You know, and that's gonna be like the thing. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Are you nervous that this is just? Is there any way that this is as good as the actual game? Right? Like, that seems kind of impossible to do. But hey, it could still at least be entertaining to watch, and we'll see what kind of changes they might make. You know, who knows? Maybe they'll make it more interesting. They'll add like another twist in there. Who knows? All right, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.